Okay. Welcome back to Calabunga Ranger Talk, everybody. Today, me, DTV83, and Mascara, say hey,
What's up? Hey, everybody.
are going to be doing theme songs from like the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and today. This is stuff that was memorable. You can just hear the first few bars or even just a first bar and go, oh, I know what that is, kind of thing. And then we have some news topics. So let's get started right off the back with these theme songs. Masco, let's start with you on this one.
All right. So it's probably a no-brainer. Number one for me. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original theme song, the 1987 theme song, written by
Okay.
Chuck Lorre. And yeah, I mean, how do you beat the Turtles theme song? I mean, it's Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles that we talk about mostly,
Yeah.
but even if we were doing like a Batman podcast, because sooner or later Batman's gonna come into the zeitgeist. I know that, but
Oh yeah.
my point is, like, really, like, how do you not talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like Leonardo leads, like, bro, like,
Yeah.
just don't. It's pretty much number one. Like, it's hard to beat that, you know. And I was watching. I sent you the link when you get a chance to check it out. Chuck Lorre's talking about it. Chuck Lorre, by the way, for those that may not know, is one of the greatest showrunners, creators.
Hmm.
I'm a giant mark for Chuck Lorre. Like, I watched most of his TV shows. I watched Grace Under Fire. I watched Two and a Half Men, Mike and Molly, which he was big producer on. He's pretty. You know what? Just to tell you how big a fan I am of Chuck Lorre, I watched the one with this beautiful blonde. Oh my God, she is like ridiculously hot. But everybody hated the show. Dharma and Greg.
Tom and Greg, I used to watch that show. Yes, I used to watch
Man,
that.
people hated that show, and that is like super Caucasian. like,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
like it made
Yes.
Mike and Molly seem urban, but like, oh my God, like the parents are hippies and the other parents are like rich people. But getting
Yeah.
back to the theme song, Chuck Lorre, he was the man, and he talks about this story about how he actually got to do the theme song, and he saw some concept drawings for the turtles and stuff like that, and basically was like, yeah, I want in. And then they told him, you know what, we'll call you, don't call us, type thing. Kind of left him hanging, which happens a lot in the industry.
Oh
It
yes.
it's happened to me a bunch of times. So he thought it wasn't going to happen. And funny enough, you know who was supposed to write the Ninja Turtles theme song?
No.
The '70s group, the Turtles.
Oh God.
So the Turtles were supposed to, the rivals to the Beatles,
Uh huh.
and
Yep.
yeah, the
The
Turtles. The Turtles
the
were supposed to
Beatles,
write.
the Monkeys, the Turtles. Yeah. Hey, hey, with the monkeys.
Yeah, the Turtles were supposed to write the theme song for it, and
Yeah.
then the last minute, like, they called Chuck Lorre and his partner, and they were like, "Hey, bro, things fell through. It didn't work out. So can you come in and do it?" And he was like, shit, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he'll do it. But they booked him on like a midnight recording, like the cheapest hours that they could possibly do to record this theme song. But he still got the theme song in. So he
Yeah.
still got the recording, he still got the tracks, he still got the instruments. You're a musician as well, so you know what I'm talking about. That.
And I
Yep.
this song is actually I actually play this song on TikTok actually, and it's only on acoustic guitar. And the thing about this song that's interesting is that it's so basic that even a beginner guitar player could do this
Yeah.
song without really thinking about it too much. Because the way it's written compared to the way I play it differently than the way it's written for the music. When you look at the sheet
Yeah.
music, it's it bounces. Very basic. So I upgraded it to make it sound like one big piece. But yeah, as a musician itself, the composing, the way it's written out, beautiful, but it's very simple, straightforward to the punch of dun 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 dun. Dun. So there's the first bar, bum bum dun 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 dun. Second bar, dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
And it's right there.
It's
You
very
can hear
video
it.
gamey.
It's
It's very
yeah,
video gamey. Like, because you know chords for video games like
Uh-huh.
Pac-Man and arcade style stuff. It's very video gamey, like dun, 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 dun.
Exactly. But again, when it became the video game, the one that was in the arcades, that very first level had that in there, but it was so arranged in such a way where it almost sounded like a totally different song until that one little section comes in. Dun 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 dun. It was more upbeat, grooving, swing.
It
It was
was
more of a swing.
synthesized, right? It
Yeah.
was
Well,
more synthesized for the
it,
electronic
it
sound.
was more synthesized, but it also had a different arrangement.
Mhm.
But yeah, 90s Turtles was actually on my list too.
How do you beat
Bro,
that?
how do you
And,
you can't.
and the funny thing too, because I was watching the video before we recorded, he's talking about laying the tracks down. He got
Mhm.
this thing done in like less than 4 hours. Like he was hauling ass. Like four in the, I think they started at like 12, and by 4:05 they were already, get the hell out of the studio because that's how studios work.
Oh yeah,
You
you
got to
have a
block.
time going to audio engineering guys. Yeah, you pay for a slot of time. You really do. And in that slot of
You're
time, if you're
blocked.
not finished, yeah, block. If you're not finished, you're out and you have to reschedule for the next and
Too bad.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you have to schedule for the next block or two, whatever day. And being in a big name studio, you're gonna have to this is your time slot, go. Hopefully you get it finished.
yeah.
Because studios are not cheap. Even back then, studios were not cheap to record in.
No.
People have luxury now where you can actually buy a cheap set of, a cheap mixing board and this and that and hook it up to your computer and record and make it sound like a $15,000 engineer, recording you.
Yeah. Well, now things are totally different because now you can go to school for audio engineering. You can go to school for audio mixing. You can teach yourself at home. There's a million options of how
That
to
that's the thing. When
slice the bread compared to
mhm.
before. Back
Again,
then it was just
yeah,
that, just
when
an
I went
audio
to
engineer.
school in 2004 for audio
Mhm.
engineering, that's all you could do. They didn't have a YouTube channel for it. They didn't have programs on the computer. None of that. It was just you go get your hands dirty and do the thing. Now it's you can type in, mix digital mixing board and you'll find a program for your computer. You don't even have to have a physical one anymore, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I remember when, since we're talking the audio engineering, I remember when my brother started recording our music because I'm also a musician. There was this program called Radar. You remember Radar, and you
I
remember
remember
Waves, but the real Waves, the program Waves,
yeah,
the one that you
ways.
used to buy at Office Depot or whatever for
Uh-huh.
like $60. And man, a lot of it was run and gun because you have to teach yourself, like you're saying, in 2004, 2005, there was YouTube didn't even let you put anything past 4 minutes, so you were
Exactly.
not gonna learn. Now you can, do whatever, but it was crazy. But yeah,
Well, like,
to kind of wrap.
like if I said, do you remember the program Acid?
I remember the
Yeah,
original Garage
yeah.
Band
The original
when it,
Garage Band. Sonar.
the real Garage Band.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The real Garage Band. But you remember Sonar
I remember Sonar too.
and
Sonar
Pro
had those.
Tools?
I remember Sonar's update packs were, ugh, God.
Yeah. So when you get into audio engineering, Sonar and Pro Tools and Acid are the three big name programs used in live studios.
Yeah,
Still to this day, I found out by talking to some of my old schoolmates. So yeah, nothing's changed over the years for programs for computers, but it's the actual physical mixing boards have changed a whole lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so what's yours? Since I did one, what's one for you?
So I'm gonna take us way back. DuckTales. You remember DuckTales?
Yeah.
Life is like a hurricane
I
here
age myself
in
if I say yes, but yeah.
you know. Uh
I'm
so
snitching a little bit, but yeah, I
yeah.
remember the
So
original Ducktales.
the original DuckTales, yeah, that is again you hear that opening beat, and it was funny because on YouTube the other day there was this drummer. Actually, he's I call it the looper musician, the one that has a loop machine. He starts that drum beat out. I'm like, oh, And it says name this song on the screen. It's like, oh, that's gonna be DuckTales, and all of a sudden it becomes something totally different when he added the keyboard to it, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I remember that song. The thing I remember was two things for that show. Number one, yeah, obviously the fucking drums. Like, oh my god, with the papa 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 life is like man,
yeah, yeah,
they think they're Aerosmith or Bon Jovi or something. This is
yeah.
DuckTales. But man, they're
It
hitting
was
that drum. They're hitting that drum pretty hard.
yeah, it was in your face. I mean, it was not something you're gonna forget, you know.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I would remember about DuckTales was like this wasn't the time DuckTales, Ninja Turtles, uh, these type of shows. When you heard the theme song, you got an idea of what the show is. So
Yeah.
you could literally go into it cold. Nowadays, you've seen some theme songs that are like this very 2000s because in the 2000s they started really shortening theme songs. Like for all TV shows in the 2000s, they hey, you know
Oh,
what? We got 30 seconds. We gotta stick in another advertisement for Papa John's or whatever. Like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's. But that was a full set. Life is like a hurricane in Duckburg. Like they tell you,
yeah,
like this is what's happening. This is the story. This is the characters. Now
yeah,
it's all a mystery or rewrite history. That's literally the plot of all of the episodes. Like
exactly.
you're saying exactly what we're doing, so you're not surprised. So you could come into it cold. So that was,
Yeah, it's
and
right there.
it was a very rocking song. Like you
Yeah,
heard that like even as an adult, you're like,
even
yeah,
as an adult, yeah. I mean,
they're going for it.
even when they did the remake TV show, it
Oh
really
no,
wasn't a
I didn't.
remake.
I
It
didn't.
wasn't
It
I saw a
was.
few episodes of it. I'm like, this ain't. I get it, but I don't like it. But we were just talking about how theme songs later on have become shortened or not as rememberable.
Yeah.
Well, so Bond did that in the after the Disney years. So Bond took it back with Samurai, and all he did was use the original Power Ranger song to make sure everybody knew that it was Power Rangers. And he did that through most of the next few seasons until Cosmic Dino Theory, I think it was. But yeah,
When Hasbro came in, yeah,
when Hasbro came in, they changed the theme song, and I was like, okay, there we go, that's better
that was
because
during the change. The Beast
yeah,
Morphers and all these things were still happening with Nickelodeon, and all of this
yeah,
stuff
because
was
it
weird.
was
Yeah.
so still. I mean, because I did a like I told you, I did a marathon of every Power Ranger show I ever missed. And it's like if I walked out of the room and it's already hearing the theme song, I'll be like, oh, well, that's just the same. And you walk back and you're like, oh wait, that's a whole different character.
Yeah.
It's they had different theme songs with it, but it's the same theme that they just used for Mighty Morphin, but shortened down with a little bit of different words and or a different beat behind. It was just like, okay, it's like
Yeah.
they're not even trying anymore. That's how I felt. It's like, no, they're not even trying to change it. It's just, oh, let's do this because it works. You know.
Yeah. You had a few. So what was another one you liked?
Well, I guess we can agree on this. Since somebody talking about the original Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin. I mean, come on, that's on both of our lists. I'm sure, one
Yeah.
way or the other. Yeah. We don't even really have to talk about
Was
that one.
was was
Anybody,
that one Ron Wasserman? Was that the writer?
I think he was the original one. Yeah.
Because he came back and he did the updated version for Once and Always. The original writer came back and some other musicians that
Oh,
scored
then
the
yeah,
originals. They came back for Once and Always. I think it
yeah.
is. If I'm not, please put the comments, guys, and next time we'll
But
read it on
again, as
update.
the as a big Power Ranger fan, I actually learned this song not too long ago on my seventh string, and it's kind of fun because it for a musician it's fun because it's not the typical what you would think of as a theme song position. This is more of a anthem, really. The Power Rangers theme song is more of an anthem when you actually listen to it and the way it's played. You could
Yeah,
literally just put this on the radio, the full length Power Ranger theme song, and you would just go, "Oh, it's a song. That's kind of a cool song. I don't know what it goes to, but that's a cool song, you know."
yeah,
Uh, but as a theme song, it's shortened, so you don't actually get to hear the whole theme song. It's shortened, but when you listen to the actual song,
yeah.
it even has a guitar solo in there. It's like, where did this come from?
Well, that okay. That okay. Let me speak on this because Everybody's got an opinion of Power Rangers theme song, the original Mighty Morphin. Bro, you hear that song and it's almost like something Bon Jovi would have wrote because they put so much electric guitar in there. It's like you're like right on the cusp. This was like after grunge, but like almost becoming new grunge, I guess if you would. You know,
Yeah.
like the edge of emos or whatever, like as far as musical tastes and stuff. But this song, it thought of itself as a rock song, like "Go
Oh
Go Power
yeah.
Rangers." Like it's even punching you. Like when you hit the chorus, "Go Go Power Rangers." But
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles doesn't hit you like that. Ninja Turtles is a
Oh.
completely different theme song, and Chuck Lorre's done because the thing is Chuck Lorre writes differently, just period.
Oh
So
yeah, of course.
his style, the theme song for Power Rangers compared to Ninja Turtles, it's more. Power Rangers is a rock song. Ninja Turtles is a pop rock song, but
Yeah,
it's trying to tell you more story. Power
it
Rangers is
is.
just go go Power Rangers. In Power Rangers, the theme song, there isn't
Yeah.
no there's no story. There's no the Zordon came from space and now
No.
he's got 5 Rangers. No, you. But in the Ninja Turtles one, you're like Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines, Raphael is cool, boom
Hmm.
boom, give me a break. Michelangelo is a party dude. You're telling personality beats. These are very
Yeah.
important things. Okay, so
But again, I think they wrote this song probably way before they decided on the
on the
character,
cast,
on the
yeah,
cast and everything. Uh but again, like you said, it's a rock song. In a way, it's kind of a metal song too, because when you listen to that opening, again, like you said, it's in your face, but it's heavy. I mean, this thing is
it's
even
meant to hit
heavier.
you.
Yeah,
It thinks
it's
it's a
heavy.
rock song.
It
It thinks it's a rock song. Go,
it
go,
almost
Power
reminds me
Rangers.
of like Cry Riot, like bang your head, dum dum dum, kind of thing. But
Well, those
and
opening chords, geez, like
those opening, yeah,
like it's trying to hype you up.
yeah,
Like like you're doing a lot of this. You're freaking
actually,
guitar.
yeah,
And
it's actually tapping.
yeah,
It's like
you're
it's like
hitting the
holy
hell out of
crap,
it. Yeah,
you are. And but
yeah,
again,
that's awesome.
that's yeah.
Yeah, let me jump in with one
Okay,
that
jump right in one then.
uh, for me, this one is probably a cheat, but what the hell? The Simpsons theme song. We're talking cartoons, right? I mean, there's really no. I mean, how do
Okay,
you beat the
so
Simpsons? Dun, dun,
that
dun, 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 dun,
that's
dun,
again,
dun,
that's
dun,
one of those songs that
dun, dun,
have
dun, dun, dun.
no words at all. So it's not like
It
something you
didn't
can
need
go.
it.
No, it's all visual. That one's an all visual. But as soon as you hear it once or twice, you can walk out of the room and go, dun 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 dun, dun. And you go, oh, Simpsons are on. Let's go watch it. Oh, um,
Yeah.
again, they did that with Futurama too, and that's something I'm really big into as a musician is just instrumental stuff. I always have been. That's partially the reason I like playing classical music is just the instrumental stuff. But again, you got to remember what it sounds like. You're not gonna go listen to a piece of like Beethoven or Bach and go, oh, that's this piece, because most of the time you don't know. You're just like, oh, that sounds like this from this show, and you go, oh wait, that's actually Bach or something, because there's a guy on YouTube. I don't remember the guy's name, but he goes, is it this or is it classical? And it's usually
Yeah.
like, is it a video game or is it classical? Is it and it's like they had one that was like Super Mario World versus Beethoven or something like that. And the guy that's like a professional classical, musician slash teacher from college
Mhm.
would get like 95% of it wrong. And that just tells me right there, you can study all the classical you want, doesn't mean you know the piece you're listening to. You know?
Well, it's all it's very much a different style because the Simpsons theme
Yeah.
song is like the
It's jazz.
Gargoyles. Yeah, no, but it's like
Yeah.
it's the style of not putting words besides the Simpsons. That's the only words in the movie
Yeah,
in the song.
exactly.
It's the style like another great show that has nothing to do with animation is Sanford and Son. Sanford and
Sanford
Son
and
was an
Son,
awesome
yes.
show. It's hilarious, but like nobody, there's no words to it.
Mhm.
But you know the song when you hear it.
Yeah.
Another one is obviously you have to mention the theme song to Batman the animated series, like
Oh yeah.
like
Mhm.
it's trying to do something like here comes Batman, but it doesn't need to tell you here comes Batman. Like it's almost operatic the way it goes with that style, you know. So it's a very much a different way of telling the
Oh
story or
yeah.
slicing the bread. I think it really works with the Batman, by the way, the Batman the animated team series by Bruce Timm and these people. That was man. How do you hear that song and not want to watch the show? It's very drama based because obviously there's a lot of heavier tones, and even just as a little side thing, I was surprised Batman was rated for kids. Like, there's a lot of dark stuff here, bro. Like,
If
this is TVY, like Y7 or something. Like, I watched this when I
yeah.
was like 10, and I was like, I'm too young for this now. It's like, what are you doing
No.
to Two Face's face? Like, they throw acid on
Right.
him and shit.
But that's the thing is back then kids knew
Yeah,
the difference between pretend
yeah,
and real. Today's kids, they get the concept, but
yeah.
they're not getting
That,
it.
that's a landmine. So, but
Y-
this
You know,
getting back to theme songs, that was a good one too.
yeah.
You got a theme song, another theme song.
Well, I do have one that's not really has anything to do with TV shows or movies or anything, but I couldn't leave this out because it's actually a very popular thing. Zelda,
Uh,
the theme song.
I know of it, but I'm not like
Um,
huge. No, deep
basically,
opinion on it.
it's basically if you heard it and you might not even remember it, but as soon as you would hear it, dun 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 dun, do, 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 do. Again, it has an upbeat. It's all music. There's no words to it, but it's just so memorable that they've used it for every game,
Yeah,
even like Breath of the Wild. But that was interesting when they did it for Breath of the Wild because they didn't let it come on until you got to the castle, the Hyrulean castle, and then they would stop playing it. But until then, you didn't hear it. But it's so, and they even the cartoon Zelda had it. Do you remember
yeah,
the cartoon Zelda? That was
yeah.
just that was crap. I'm sorry, that was crap.
I know of some of these shows, but I like. Well, for me, the thing that like I would gravitate towards certain shows that are like series that ended up being franchised, like
Yeah.
Transformers. I got into Transformers by Beast Wars, but
Mhm.
after Beast Wars, I've seen most Transformers shows. With
That's
Power
funny.
Rangers, I took the ride, and
Yeah,
with Ninja Turtles, I took the ride. But with other shows, like you're saying, like Zelda, Dungeons and Dragons,
I forgot about Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
yeah, things like that. I like Mighty Max. I guess it falls somewhere in there
Oh
because,
God, I forgot about that show too.
bro,
It
that
was-
they would put that show at any block possible.
Mhm.
Like, we got 30 minutes. We have nothing to put at 6:30 in the morning. Put
Yeah.
a Mighty Max or I think it even lasted longer than the Polly Pocket show because Mighty Max they had that weird. They had a fake Splinter that was a bird, and then they had the kid
Mhm.
Mighty Max, and the other guy that was supposed to be like his protector, the dude with the giant
Yeah.
sword, Mighty Max. But
Yeah, I remember.
here and there.
So what do you
Uh,
got? You said you have one
yeah,
more?
yeah. I got my last one, and it's fun because of how whimsical it is. I just like how silly and lighthearted it is, and it's for a show that did not last more than 9 episodes. It
Oh
was
wow.
very short. But the thing about this show is that it ended up being an icon for adult animation, and that show is The Oblongs. Oblongs, oblongs. It tells you exactly what's happening very subtly, but at the same time, very 50s ish, like happy, like everything's fine, we're all
Mhm.
happy. When the show has nothing to do with being happy, the show follows a family of mutated, people that live, below the poverty line on the other side
Yeah.
of the hill that are like basically mutants. The dad is like a eunuch. The mom is a smoker with a bad wig. The son has a popped out eye, and you have Siamese twin.
Oh,
You have Siamese
okay.
twins
I
brothers.
remember
Yeah,
that now. Yeah.
and the baby has a
A horn.
a horn going out of her head. That show was so well written, man. It was fun, and it had Will Ferrell doing the voice of the dad, and Gene Smart was in it too. The voice of Bobby from King of the Hill is also the voice of Milo in The Oblongs. It's a great
Hmm.
show. Man. You see that? Even for the 9 episodes, it goes by so fast, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
But the theme song is so fun and whimsical. It's just like you wouldn't expect that in early 2000s because this was when the WB was around. You remember the
I
WB
remember the WB and the little frog and yeah,
the WB channel, I should say, the WB
channel.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was so that was my last one. Oh,
Okay.
by the way, before I finish, The Simpsons was written by Danny Elfman, and The Oblongs was written by They Might Be Giants, John
Oh
Stansberg
wow.
and John Linnell. That's how
They
it
might be
was
giants.
spelled.
That's a band I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, those I will
Yeah.
always want to plug the writers for that stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So I'll do two more because we got some news to go to.
Yeah,
So the one that most people probably would not expect me to talk about is Pokemon. Again, it talks about
it's
the
a good
story
song.
right off the back. I want to be the very best, the best there ever was. And again, if you first heard that line, no one would probably even guess what kind of TV show that was, or if you were just new to it,
Yeah,
unless you knew about the card game or some
yeah,
part of the game, itself. But yeah, it's a story just in itself, all about the traveling and all that in there. Pokemon, it's people still sing it today. People still dress up as Pikachu. I mean, it's a big culture thing, and it's still going on in Japan. I think the TV show never ends. It's just one of those. We're gonna switch characters. We're gonna go from Ash to this character to this character to this character. Um, yeah, and the guy that sings it for America, I can't remember his name offhand, but he
mhm,
still does it today. It's like he collaborates with actual like YouTubers and stuff just to sing it. Anytime they're around him, they'll let him sing it and they'll film him and he'll let you sing it with them, and it's really cool to see. And he still sounds like the same way he did back in the '90s when he first sang it.
oh, I remember that theme song. That was really good.
Yeah,
Little fun fact. Uh, the voice of Pokemon, Veronica Taylor, the voice of Ash Ketchum, for the first like 15 years.
yeah.
She did a couple of pictures for Mascara Fighters, and she also did like a video promo for my TV show Mascara Fighters.
Oh,
So
nice.
thank you to Veronica Taylor. I appreciate you know, and Mascara Fighters appreciates it because the brand's still alive. It's still around. Quick little plug there, but it's still a
Yeah.
fun since we're talking Pokemon. And what's the last one you had?
So this one, it just stays with me. 2003 Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Do 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 do. You know, um, just that alone, just that little piece. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Do 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 do. Right on the keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4 turtles. It's a ninja action.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is upbeat tempo, and again, you start hearing just that first part, and you hear the upbeat in it. It makes you just like can like just snap your head going, "What's going on TV? Oh yeah, turtles." And it's again, it's drawn not anywhere close to the '90s. It's not drawn anywhere you would think. It's blocky, thick turtles. But the theme song itself is in your face again.
hmm
And it's more in your face than the '90s one,
hmm
but it still has that upbeat tempo that the '90s one had. There's nothing dark about it. It's just here. Even though the show was dark, don't get me wrong, the show was very dark comparatively speaking to the '90s one. The '90s one compared to this one was
but
more dark.
it's a different. It was a different format. That show, like we
Oh
could
yeah,
actually do a deep dive into seasons and whatever. But just like on the surface, just to talk about that show, I'll say this: that show was super serialized. Like
oh
everything was like
yeah,
4 or 5 episode arcs, 4 or 5 episodes. It wasn't like the original '87 show. The '87 show, you can watch one episode. Oh, Shredder makes a pizza monster or something silly. You get in and out. But
yeah.
most, except for the original 5 episode season, and maybe the Red Sky
The
season.
Red Sky season, yeah,
Yeah, there's kind of a thin storyline about the turtles mutating, but for like the 7 years in between, there's really like you can one and done. Oh,
Exactly.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you ready for news?
Yeah, let's hit up the news. Let's hear this.
Okay. First news: the Ninja Turtle. This is actually something we talked about a couple episodes ago. We were talking about that there were going to be a Ninja Turtles Transformers crossover.
Oh, I've seen this. I've seen this. Yes.
Okay, it finally debuted at one of the Hasbro Pulses, and it's called the Party Wallop, and it's
Uh-huh.
got all four interchangeable turtle heads. So you're gonna have to buy four of them. You're gonna have to buy five if you want one that's just a band, I guess.
Nah.
But because man, I saw that promotional picture of all four turtles, and I was like, oh man, they're making four versions of this. And I was like, and then I read, oh no, you have the one comes with the four heads,
Oh, it comes with the
but
foreheads.
yeah, four heads, and I think it like
Uh,
a blank one. So you're still gonna have to buy four of them if you want to have the four turtles. Like,
well, I hope they don't cost too much. Because I saw
yeah,
that, when I
the
saw
price
that,
is
I was like,
already out. Yeah,
when I saw that, I
They're-
was actually going, I'll pick at least one of them up, but knowing that they all come with foreheads. But again, what are you gonna do? You're gonna set it up in the van, or you're gonna set it up as the turtle, most likely the turtle, and pop on your favorite turtle head, and probably will
yeah,
leave it, you know. But if you had
yeah,
all four of them,
yeah.
you'd have them set it up,
Yeah,
in
you
a
have the whole
row.
set.
Yeah. So I think Hasbro made a bad mistake. Good mistake because it's an
It's
awesome.
$50.
It's bad mistake. Anyways,
$50. $50.
yeah, bad mistake for most people, especially right now in this economy.
I have to see it honestly to say whether it's good or a bad price. Just because most premium like I forget how Transformers like divides their classes because they have core
I don't
class, they have
know.
yeah
Yeah,
leader
they're
class, things like that.
I just look at it. They go from tiny to big.
Yeah,
Because you can get stuff at Walmart that's like this big for Transformers. Like that's just gonna break in my hand. Then you
yeah,
got the big ones are like 12 inches. And they're formed. It's like how many pieces are gonna break off of that? As you're trying to
yeah.
do it and you mess it up. Yeah, I'm curious on how big these are. Do you have any idea how big they are?
No, because I haven't seen any pictures of a
Okay.
person actually presenting the thing. Now,
Yeah,
I've seen the bigger class, the leader. I think it's called leader class.
I think so.
I don't collect Transformers like I used to. I'll just buy Beast Wars if something Beast Wars comes out. But I saw the Tiger Hawk, the one that's a combination. It's the Beast Wars, but the updated version
Hmm.
in the Legacy line. And I
Yeah.
saw it today at Walmart for like $55. So
Mm.
$50 for a turtle that turned into the van doesn't seem bad if it's $55 in the street. I mean, it's $5 less. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I have to see more. I have to see more. It is a transformer, so technically the engineering, but you're gonna get four buys out of it. It's not like you
Oh
can make
yeah.
this thing $40 and be done with it.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, kind of sucks. They could have like made it like they could have done like the medium sized ones and just had a set of four for $50. I don't know how these things transform. I just know that the van itself looks good and the transformation overall looks good. But
No, it looks
yeah,
nice. It doesn't look bad. It's a
no, it looks
transformer. It's
good.
very much a transformer. Duh.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
so you know what you're getting too. Here's the thing too with that news item. They've already talked about it. They've already presented it. It's already been revealed, and there's also been some leads as to future projects. So this isn't a one and done anymore. The idea was that it was just a turtle van with the turtle head. And yeah, we're done. No, I think this is gonna
Oh.
be like we were talking about, like they do with other crossovers with Ghostbusters and so on. Like every year they release one different version of GI Joe and
Hmm.
Transformers. It's the X line, whatever.
Yeah.
So here's some ideas that I think could work. Okay, there's like two,
Okay.
three ideas. We make the Technodrome Krang
Okay,
transforms
I
into
see
the
that. Yeah.
Technodrome. Okay, another one I think and this could be a multi-buy just because if we're gonna do the multi-buys, let's say the mutant module, the one where all the bad guys travel around in the earth or whatever.
Yeah, the drill.
Yeah, the drill, we make that the foot soldier.
You want to know something funny?
You can see that too, right? Like
I can prove
the
that
foot the foot
they,
soldier, they can do that.
they made that already back in the 90s, but it wasn't the foot soldier. It was Shredder, and I own it. You
Yeah, I have
literally,
that one. No, but this is Transformers, and it's a completely different thing.
I
That
know, but I'm saying it's already possible. They could already
yeah,
just look at that and go, oh, we just have to move this piece here, and because like in the one with the Shredder, is the drill was actually a shield. You could actually put it in his hand, and
that
yeah,
was some incredible engineering because they didn't like both modes look like two different things.
it did.
Shredder still looked like Shredder, and the drill looked like the drill. Like
Mhm.
Splinter turned into the party wagon, and Splinter looked like Splinter, and the party wagon looked like the party
Yeah.
wagon. Reasonably, all right. There's not nothing perfect, but for
Well,
the
the thing about
dimensions, they still
yeah,
nailed the shit out of it. Playmates
the one
back then was like,
yeah, awesome. But even
yeah,
back then, when they did the Shredder, it looked like Shredder was inside the drill. That's what made it interesting. It looked like he
yeah.
was inside.
They had one with Donatello that's like a race car driver. Leonardo was a fireman, and the way they would transform them, they would give that window so it looks like they're driving their own
Mhm.
vehicles. That
Yeah.
was some wild stuff. Oh, and the last one that I think that they could probably do, and this seems pretty plausible too, is they make April the news van slash RC, like a version of RC. RC is a Transformer character, so
Hmm.
they hybrid those three together. So I think those could be a couple of possibilities. Because if we're doing more, that has to be it. And the big ticket
Yeah.
item is going to have to probably be Krang turns into the Technodrome. Because I don't think they're going to make Shredder into the Technodrome. I think that's kind of
No,
weak.
that would make no sense.
Uh, they'll make Shredder something else.
Yeah.
I see
Or
Krang
or they
because of
could
the
do one.
space of the dome.
Yeah, they could do one that's if they wanted to use the same color scheme. Make a giant mouser that turns into the Technodrome. But I don't know how the heck you would do that. I mean, I don't even know how the
That
heck
would
you would
make sense.
do.
Yeah, that goes into character and vehicle, so
Yeah,
that'd be kind of a pain in the ass from an
yeah.
engineering perspective. I don't know. What do you think Shredder could turn into?
Well, you pretty much said all the vehicles that's been on the
The
TMNT.
main ones, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going with the neutrinos car that turns into a neutrino.
yeah. But
But
Shredder's not gonna turn into
no, no, no. I
into a
know.
Cadillac for some reason.
Right? I mean, there's nothing really there unless you go into some of the other Turtle series. But then it's again, I don't really know.
It'd be kind of neat if they turned Shredder into the pizza launcher, just like the pizza launcher, just for the hell of it.
Hmm.
What the hell?
Well,
Let's
I
get
mean,
back. Sorry, go
mm,
ahead.
I guess they could turn him to like an armored car or something. Like some kind of like armored car. I don't know. I mean, but you have to go turtle theme. That's the problem. You have to go to the turtle theme to make it a
Yeah, yep.
turtle.
Yeah, half a transformer type thing.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else we really could do.
For the audience, why don't you leave your comments?
There you go.
Leave your ideas. Make it more interactive with you guys. What you think Shredder could turn into in the cross line. Uh, Getting on to the more news. So this is a big one, and this has been reported by multiple people and multiple things. So this isn't me speaking out of school or whatever. Brian from Super 7, he's been taken out of power as far as final decision. It's still his
Yeah.
company and stuff, but he's like the shareholders and the people that gave him those $37 million at the beginning of the year. Remember, there was the 37 million flux,
Hmm.
that money. The the final he's been taken off of final say for toy products, and now they're gonna. And a lot of these toy tubers have been talking about they've already seen leaked pictures for double articulated turtles, which is probably the 2003 turtles that are going to be double
Oh,
articulated
most likely. Yeah.
because you're not going to restart with the original.
No.
It would have to be that. You just move pivot to there.
But
What do you think about that?
well, I'm glad for it because as a collector of Super Seven's Power Rangers itself, I know how he talked about the different franchises, by listening to different interviews from different people,
Mhm.
and he never seemed like he was 100% in the loop. It's like he was like, "I'm Brian. I know what we're doing, but we don't know what we're doing." Like he would
Yeah,
always talk about, yeah, we're doing Turtles 2003. When is it gonna come out? No, he didn't even have a clue. He had no idea. Still to this day, he has no idea when Turtles 2003 characters are coming out. They asked him about Power Rangers, and they're like, "Oh, we're trying to rebrand the Power Rangers line." It's like, no, you don't need to rebrand it. You're not gonna you restart any line over again. It doesn't matter. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, the Simpsons line, Robin Hood. You're gonna make a lot of people mad because people have already spent lots of money on these guys, to complete their collection or to start their collection or whatever. Rebranding is a bad term. Reimagination is a bad term as well. More of how
reboot.
can
Yeah,
we,
those words.
yeah, reboot, all those words bad. Even though I know what he meant by rebranding, meaning how could we get it out there? How can we get people to know about this brand?
Yeah,
Promotion. The word was how can we get a new promotion going? How can we get this going? Hey, we need, if you love Power Rangers, you love Ninja Turtles, you'll love Transformers, Super 7. Something, not just, oh, we're gonna rebrand it. So what, we're gonna do a 2010 logo instead of using the 1990s. Are we gonna take the Simpsons style logo and put it on the Ninja Turtles box? I mean, it's not gonna. It's branding's the wrong term, but I think Brian Flynn had no clue what's going on in the company. Honestly, I think he knew what was talked about, the
yeah,
imagination, but I don't think he actually knew the ins and outs of the company.
yeah. As far as this is concerned, this seems, I don't know, maybe it's a flex by the company as a whole, not letting one guy control everything just because the company has been on shaky ground because of so many delays and so many back orders and the cancellations. And
Ninja
it's had a
Turtles.
lot of issues. Yeah, like let's be real. Super Seven's gotten his ass kicked for the past year
Mhm.
and a half, pretty well for
Yeah,
across the board. Whether it's Silverhawks, whether it's I think the only one that they've really like nailed the hell out of it is Thundercats. But except for that, and even then, they forget to put a head in, or they do something weird, or every
yeah,
other line's had a lot of issues. The Simpsons, the Mo, they forgot to put in the apron for Mo, and it's like you're paying
hmm,
$55 and you're kidding. Whatever, they do make things right. I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying
yeah. They remake
they've had
stuff,
a rough year and a half
but
because
again,
the
I know
factory
we,
changes. Remember the whole
yeah, yeah,
factory
yeah, yeah.
changes, that whole mess. You know,
But
and
again,
you can't.
we've talked
Yeah,
about this though. Again, Super Seven is not very super no more. Super Seven was that factory, that brand that gave you tons and tons of accessories to make it look like you got everything in the world. And now they're like, oh, here's a $55 character with a head and two or three things.
yeah. I sent you that picture of the neutrino, the Zap.
Yeah,
Like it's a backpack and a skateboard. You want me to pay $55 for a backpack and a skateboard? Like, where's the ultimate in this? That
yeah.
box is pretty empty. But I don't know. Maybe this is a good thing moving forward. To play devil's advocate, let's look at the bad side of it too, because everybody's rejoicing that oh, he got the power taken away, or oh, no. The bad part about it is this is going to make things look more generic. As a creator, I can appreciate what he's trying to do because his look has always been. I know it's not double articulated, but the thing is, one thing is to be industry standard, and it's another thing to be generic as shit. One of the most generic toy lines, and I hate to even say it, is the Marvel Legends. Oh my God, if you
Mm,
bought one Marvel Legends, you bought them all. Let's be real.
yeah.
And this is coming from a Power Ranger fan. I know I bought Lightning Collection and I bought the same body 1,000 times, but oh my God, really, the Marvel Legends, the Wolverine is the same body of Mr. Fantastic, is the same body of this one and that. Is the same for the girls. The body of Jean Grey is the body of this. You really don't do anything, and everybody kind of follows the leader because Marvel
Yep.
Legends goes so well. So now getting double articulation, it's gonna make it, which is a good and bad thing, but it's just gonna make it feel like just another one, another person, another toy company. Kind of like in wrestling, like they just hire another guy. WWE has so many people. AEW has so many people on their
Yeah.
roster. It's just another hire. Oh, Edge is coming in, great. Then tomorrow, oh, CM Punk left. All right, CM Punk. Oh, it's just another guy. It's just another toy company. And considering how hard it is to get the toy companies to actually release things, I think that's a, and I'll say another thing too. And this is a critique, but this is just like an open critique. All right. One of the things in a lot of the interviews with Brian and all of these things is that he's always been crying about. I'm maybe crying is the wrong term, but he's always been a proponent of, oh, I don't want to release too many figures because I don't want to make people spend too much money on this and that. You've heard him say this, right? Multiple times.
Yes.
For at least 5 years, he's been saying the same song and dance. Fine, respect him. Here's the problem, though. You're not running a non-profit. You're running a profit company.
Mm-hmm.
As a toy maker, as a brand maker, whatever, as a musician, most people are capitalists. It's not your job to tell me how many Power Rangers I need to buy in a year. If you don't make them, that's, you know what I mean. Like, no, no, no. If I want to buy 100 Ninja Turtles, I'm gonna buy 100 Ninja Turtles. It'd be nice if somebody came up to me, hey, Felipe, we want to get 10,000 power Mascara Fighters figures. Oh, I guess I got to figure out how to make 10,000 Mascara Fighters figures. Point is, it's not my job to dictate people's money like that. Like, you're a toy company. You're supposed to sell fun, technically, right? Like, it's your stuff
Yeah.
should be fun to get. You shouldn't be, oh, you shouldn't spend your money on this. Bro, I'm not picking up a hooker. I'm buying a Ninja Turtle. Okay? Like, well, really? Like, what? I don't like when people like, wag their finger at my face like that. Like, yeah, I don't want to make you too happy. Like, what? I'm
Yeah.
giving you my money. I'm already spending whatever. I'm trying to be the play ball because I do like your style. Like I said, I've always talked positives as well. I'm not just,
Oh yeah.
but when he does this type of stuff and I don't want to release too many figures, bro, he's take the company. Let me say this: the company has released a lot of figures, and a lot of the problem has been everything snaps and breaks and turns to shit. That's why they've had
Yeah.
such a rough year and a half because everything keeps, and there's a lot of these toy tubers that are like they get free samples or whatever. Even they
Oh,
can't defend it anymore. So
yeah.
if your shills can't defend you, I don't know what to tell you. Like
Well,
if
see,
your cheerleader doesn't cheer for you, then you're not doing well.
as a toy reviewer of that kind of product, it's hard to, not show it because, like Lord Zed, for example,
Yeah.
I could tell you all day just to be careful. Don't be careful with the tubing. Well, that's fine, but unfortunately, like one of the tubes starts right here by the wrist joint, and what do you have to do to do it? Twist and pull. And if you touch the tube wrong and you actually connect it, because the tubes actually form like this, you're pulling that tube right out of that spot. Can you get it back in? Of course you can. How? I have no idea. I'm not a toy
Yeah.
maker. But again, that's a defect. They should have a way to get that piece in where it's not going to worry that you're going to pop it out. Mine happened on the leg, not the arm, but still, it was. Yeah, it's the QC again. Now we're doing QC like we do with
Yeah.
Hasbro. Product beautiful, design beautiful. QC sucks. Same thing with Hasbro's. Hasbro's Power Ranger line and Transformer lines, they look fantastic, but QC no good. A lot of times, I mean, every once in a while you'll get a
Oh, yeah.
fantastic product, no problem. Same thing with Super 7. But when it comes to the Brian Flynn situation itself, I think if Brian Flynn's in the background controlling, the overall detail look or something, fine. But
I,
if
I
he's gonna be
The
the
thing is, I
face.
don't. Yeah,
Yeah, if he's gonna be the face of Super Seven, he better get some answers instead of going, well, you know, it might come out soon, it might not come out soon. You know,
yeah.
it's in pre-production. It's been in pre-production for over a year or two. Like the Turtle line, I think it's Ray
Oh,
7 or Ray 10.
they Wave 10 was supposed to come out in March.
Yeah,
They've pushed it now to August again. This is this
again.
I don't know what this wave has a problem with. Wave 7 should have been out like a year ago. It's been pushed back to everything's kind of August right now on Big Bad. Like Big Bad
Hmm.
just like reset the next four waves. August, maybe, maybe, maybe. No, bro.
Yeah. See, I think Brian Flynn as the face of Super 7 was good, but I think it's not so good now.
I don't know.
He
I
doesn't.
don't.
He doesn't seem like he has any answers for anybody. When they really, if you really listen to the interviews, he kind
Yeah.
of beats around the bush, as they used to say. Yeah, yeah. We have some surprises coming up for that toy line. I can't really talk to about them now. Yeah, it's in pre-production. Yeah, it's coming out soon. Yeah, it's all these like,
That's
don't worry
fine. I like
about it. It's coming. It's
that. I
coming. It's coming. It's
understand.
coming. It's coming.
Okay.
But
Okay,
it's like you
that
don't have
point
any
I
real
understand.
answers.
Yeah, let me jump. That I totally understand because as a creator, I can't go out there and say, "Hey, look, here's the entire roster of the Mascara fighters. Here's every single character. Here's every single." You have to, slowly reveal everything. Number one, because nobody's gonna buy everything at once. Number
No,
two,
of course not.
it's more fun because this way you can create more content for it. But
Hmm.
because I'm a content creator, he's not a content creator. This
No,
company's not a content creator. This company's a toy company that's telling you they don't want to have you
don't
buy
want.
toys. It's okay. Perfect example. Little Caesars. Have you ever seen Little Caesars come out? This is just an example. I'm not talking bad about Little Caesars before I get into it, because
Okay,
people are
Domino's.
yeah, yeah, or Papa John's or whatever or Jimmy John's. No, I'm just using Little Caesars. I've never seen the head of Little Caesars come out. Hey, buddy, maybe buying this pizza is not such a good idea. We'll give maybe if you want to order 6,000 freaking Little Caesars pizza, that's your problem. That's your money.
Yeah,
I'm not dictating your money. I'm not paying your mortgage. I'm not. No, bro. That
exactly. No, I mean, I
especially in
see,
this economy, bro. Like if anybody has the money, shut up and take it, bro.
but see, he makes a mistake by saying that. People like
He says it a lot. He
if
says
I
it
had
a
a lot, yeah,
lot, bro.
he says a lot. But if I had more money, more space in my house, I'd probably own all the Ninja Turtles. The Turtle line. I don't see any Turtle line part of that on the Super 7 that I don't like. I like it. I like it all, but I don't got room for it. I want the money for it. That's a lot of money to spend on a Troy line. But again, knowing now what Playmates is doing, Super 7 might just be out of the business with
I don't
Turtles.
know.
You
Maybe
know?
he should go into real estate. Like, look, you want this house, but maybe this is not the right time.
Yeah, this may not be the right time for this house.
Yeah, maybe you should think about an efficiency, maybe a condo, but you're not ready for a 30-year lease. All right. Thank you so much, realtor. I understand that. But this is a toy company
Yeah,
that's
this is a
supposed to.
toy company.
This isn't even a modern toy company. That's the weird thing. Like, it's a retro toy company because it's targeted towards 30 and 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds because really, 30,
They,
40, and 50-year-old grown people with jobs and money and they want to buy their own. They don't release new things. If Super 7 wants to release something new, creative, and all of that, they should sign Mascara Fighters and really like put the whole machine behind Mascara Fighters, as Super 7 Mascara Fighters or whatever. But that would be a new IP. These are old
yeah,
IPs, bro.
these are very old.
You're making Transformers, you're making Ninja Turtles. You've been hinting at making gem figures for about 4 years now. You still haven't produced one gem figure. I'm not a huge gem guy, but there are
Yeah,
people that
yeah,
like gem and they wanted it the Super 7 side. They did a little
yeah.
reaction one, but come on, bro. Like really, like I don't know. It's
Yeah, they got a lot
great,
of
great realtor though. Great realtor.
they got a lot of Super 7 has a lot of toy lines. I look on their website, and it's like you go down, products.
Yeah.
It's like and it's like You're not a small company. Stop saying you're a small company because you're not. You have like 20 IPs on that
Yeah,
fucking
they
page.
try to be a fake rock and roll company with all the reaction and like,
Mhm.
oh,
And
this
they
is
got
Jimmy's band. We'll make a reaction figure of it and hope it sells.
and they also got their own toy line too that they work on. Their own Super 7 main toy line.
Bro, if any, okay. Oh my God, we're gonna get flagged by Super Seven for this one. Today's the day. This is our last episode today, boy. Here's the thing: if anything you should give a damn about, it should be Super Seven's the worst. They
Mhm.
don't. This
No,
thing takes forever too. Why aren't you hauling ass on your own stuff? I understand you take it like you don't treat your step kid the same way you treat your actual bloodline. Harsh truth, but it is true.
no, it's true.
But like, bro, how do you do this? Like, this is your kid. This is your brand. This is your stuff. You basically bought Silverhawks, whether you admit it or not. But like, bro, like you should be nicer at least to yourself. This literally this is why aren't you? I don't know, brother. I don't work with those numbers and I don't work with that company and I'm not in any way, you know what I mean? But really, the worst should be okay. Those does the worst release 20 figures a year? No.
No,
Do they release 20 Ultimates versions of themselves? No. They try to release I don't know, bro.
no, they don't take care of themselves. You know, there used to be a saying, well, it's still
It's
around.
his though. That's the
Yeah,
thing is
yeah,
you want to make a bootleg version of the cheeseburger, you color his head green and you call it a different character and put it under the worst. Fine. There's people that like that stuff, but you need to release this stuff, dude.
but don't forget the
I never,
Michelin man. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know why he rations his own toys. Like you're selling them, you're not keeping them for yourself. Like I would,
Exactly.
I would not, because he talks about this too. He talks so much about tooling, and this is $5,000, this is $7,000, this is this is that. Why don't you want the product out?
Yeah.
If you put this much money into something, wouldn't you want it to be out? This wasn't working any other genre. Can you imagine this guy producing Dr. Dre or Wiz Khalifa or any musician at all? Bon Jovi,
Oh,
the Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones. Can you imagine telling the Rolling Stones we're not going to release your album this year so we can
right.
spread it out? Oh my God, Mick Jagger would kick your ass, bro. Like literally,
Okay,
this wouldn't
I'm gonna
work
switch.
anywhere else. Bro. I'm
I'm
sorry,
gonna
bro.
switch topics. I'm gonna switch topics for a second. You just brought up musician that just reminded me. So I was surfing Entertainment Earth the other day, and McFarlane has released two musicians figures, Alice Cooper and Ozzy Osbourne, and they're on pre-order right now. So they're brand new to the McFarlane line, and they come with
They're gonna
very
be
little.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
but
gonna
they're
be out
gonna be
soon.
out. That's my point. They're
That's the
gonna
point.
be out
Yeah, but
soon.
you reminded me that about the musician thing, and yeah, they look fantastic. The McFarlane, of course, they look fantastic, but they come with their own stand, so it's not like you're gonna have any problems displaying them. And I think they look fantastic. And they're only like $25.
Yeah.
And again, I think they're like 7 inches, beautiful design, beautiful paint job, and all that. And again, then you got Super 7 that does these little $25 reactions that are this big. And it's like, come on. Like, I try to figure out why can't you guys do a full size figure of, again, Mick Jagger, uh,
Bon
anybody,
Jovi,
Bon
anybody,
Jovi,
yeah.
anybody, even just certain musicians like Mike Thomas from Slipknot, the guitar player, or Randy Rhoads from Ozzy Osbourne, or something. Just no, we're just gonna go this big, you know. And I know people love the reaction figures, I know they do, but
They're not bad.
no, they're
It's a
not bad.
cool aesthetic, but the price.
It's ridiculous. Those should be like 15. I would have them $15. I mean, they
Well,
barely move.
it's bad
But,
to talk
you
about money
know,
now because of the inflation and the way the
uh,
world's turned to. And the cost of plastic, but that could be a wormhole too. But
Yeah.
let's try and move on from
Okay, let's move on.
because if not, we're literally gonna get flagged.
Oh, we're gonna get
uh,
an interview out of it. One of the two.
man. Uh,
Let's
moving
move on.
on.
Let's move
Moving
on.
on. Yeah, let's go into Playmates. Playmates. Uh, they finally released some high resolution picture for the blurry picture, the 40th anniversary Turtles, and they
Oh,
sent it to
really?
Pixel Dan, and Pixel Dan actually did a little review on the image and stuff, and he was talking about how he was asking questions, hey, because he said in the video he sent like a list of questions because obviously we all have questions for
Oh,
Playmates
yeah.
about what's going to happen with the Turtles. Is it going to be an origin style? Is this a one and done? Or what's going on with the swapped heads? And he basically got nothing out of it. And the only thing he got is like now that we see the high resolution picture, that those turtles are super textured, like they look like frogs.
Oh no.
Once you get an H, you got to see this video that that uh that Pixel Dan
Pixel
did.
Bandit.
Good job by Pixel Dan, by the way. See, I put people over. I'm not just selfish. He only talks about Mask Effects. I talk about other people too.
Okay, sure.
I do. I do talk.
I know.
I talk,
I'm just kidding. I'm
talk about the
kidding.
positives of Super 7 all the time. But I like something. Yeah. So there's that, and I don't know. It seems like very weird considering how big and and known Pixel Dan is for him not to get any answers. Nobody's getting answers. He's
No.
Pixel Dan. If you want to hype this 40th anniversary Turtles thing and actually launch a line of reaction, origin style, highly articulated 80s figures you recreated, reimagined into this,
Hmm.
like just flip out the turtle heads. The Donnie and Leo issue, fix that. Take away all that stupid frog looking thing that makes them all look like Genghis Frog, and we'll be fine. And make
Yeah.
these things readily available. The only other thing out of that video too, which that he actually got, was that they're gonna be $12.
That's not
That's the
bad.
price.
That's
That's
not
the price.
bad for being
But
multi, you know,
articulated, yeah.
articulated.
For
That's
these
not
days, that's
bad.
not. Yeah. So
I'll have no problem paying that for that.
I was excited for this, but now I'm not excited because like if anybody should get answers, it's Pixel.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
as far as toy tubing and all this stuff, is anybody. If he's not getting it, who's getting it then? Like I don't know. Uh,
No.
next little news item. I saw this video and I wanted to. Speaking of plugging good things that I see and giving credit to other people, there's this channel on YouTube called Power Ranger 2, and they did a really good job. I watch all of his stuff, by the way. He does a really good job, the guy. Power Ranger 2 on YouTube. Uh, he did this video on the legacy line of Power Rangers. He did
Oh.
recapping the last year or so, right? He did a
I
really
think
good job.
yeah, I think I know who you're
That's a
talking
really
about.
good
Yeah.
video. Yeah, he's a.
Yes.
I think he's a British dude. Or
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I know we're all
he
talking
does
about the
he
same
does a
people.
really
Yeah.
good job at this. And the only criticism, and it isn't even a criticism, it's just like a little nitpick, is like sometimes when he puts an audio track, the audio track is so loud it's louder than him.
Mm,
Like his
yeah.
mixing, just lower the. I don't need to hear the background. I'm here to see you because you're giving me information. You just take it down a little. Just drop the volume a little bit on the musical track filler background thing to create ambiance. You don't need ambiance. You're good enough. You're good enough.
So I'll tap on that one a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I realized from editing my own videos is that sometimes the sound quality you have for editing
Mhm.
affects the overall sound quality that you might be hearing. So you might have the most beautiful mix in your headphones or on your TV screen or whatever, but then the next person's headphones don't work that good, don't work the
Yeah.
same as yours. So the mix might be louder in this ear than this ear or whatever, because it's a YouTube video. You're not in the compression between your video to the YouTube, transfer into is going to change it a little bit. Like I've noticed that in the long run, like I will like do videos on my phone and play them back on my phone, and they sound like total crap. But if I import them to YouTube and then take them off of YouTube onto my computer, the
Yeah.
compression just between that changes the sound quality so much.
Oh yeah. Well, compression.
So I
That's a
mean,
Google thing. Yeah.
because you're compressing the file, and then you take it off the YouTube, that compression still stays there. So
Yeah.
that is one of my tricks when I do my filming. I use my phone, but then I take it to my computer to edit because I love how
Yeah.
that compression sounds. So I don't have to even mess with the audio. I just that
Yeah.
way. So his editing person, or maybe he does it himself, like, oh, this sounds really cool this way, and not thinking about how the YouTube is going to affect it.
Hmm. Well,
So
yeah, that's very true. I like I said, I put the guy over. You guys that watch this, subscribe to his channel.
oh,
His
it's
videos.
fantastic.
He's very informative, which I like. I like being informed on stuff.
Hmm.
I like toys. I like Power Rangers. I like Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. He's very informative. He does like the history of this, the history of that, inside of his videos. And this video specifically was really interesting too because nobody's talking about Power Rangers at all these days. So for him to actually look back at the legacy line and what it could have been and how it ended, and they didn't do the Trini flip head, and Billy was an overseas release, and all of these other things.
Yeah,
All of the issues that the legacy line had, because it had a lot of issues towards the end, but it started pretty strong. You know, it's got like
it did.
14,000. This video specifically that I'm talking about, the legacy one, is his last video has like over 14,000 views. So people are watching. You
Yeah,
make
of
good
course.
stuff, brother. Cheers to you. If you ever want to come on our show, by the way, there's an open invitation.
Yep.
So they don't think we're all closed doors here.
And if
Open invitation to Power Ranger 2.
and I will say this, I watched that video, and it's a fantastic video, and it taught me a lot about the legacy line I had no idea about. But if you look at Hasbro's line, and you see like the Dragon Dagger, it's the same Dragon Dagger, just one's die cast and one is plastic, and they changed it
Yeah,
just enough where it wasn't, the die cast one is 100% shiny, perfect, no damage on it. The Hasbro one put battle damage on it. It looked like it's been used for centuries. But it's pretty much the same one for one casting. Just one's in plastic, one's not. You
yeah.
know,
I'm sure you like that video because he actually went into the thing about the coins.
yeah.
Nobody
Again,
talks. Nobody talks about the coins, but
nobody
he
talks about
actually did.
coins,
Yeah. So
and
that
like
was
the movie
really good.
morphers too. They never finished the movie morphers.
Yeah, they only did
And,
white, red, and blue, I think.
and the other thing that's funny is when you got the coins for the Najeti, you never had the Falcon. They never put the Falcon coin in it, and it's funny because like that was one of
You
the
have to get
things.
it from a third party.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that.
Starlight Studios. They make them. Anyways, but yeah, a lot of the stuff that they released, it was like incomplete, and it's like, why? Why did you do that? Like the Najeti, it automatically has 6 Rangers. Why you only put 5? You know, yeah,
Yeah, they
and
didn't. They didn't do the combined symbol one with all of the thing. You had to get that from third party too.
yeah. Again, I have not used Starlight Studios, but I really been thinking about it to get a communicator, the Green Rangers communicator, just to finish
To
off
have
my
it.
bottom. Just
Yeah.
well, not just to have it, but to finish off the bottom of my display cabinet. Because on the bottom of my display cabinet it has the Mark Richardson Dragon Dagger, my custom Green Ranger Morpher, and I'm just missing the communicator and be finished. But I haven't actually got on eBay to look at it, what the prices are on there. I'm kind of afraid to because it's custom made. But yeah,
Yeah. Next news that is no news. It's McFarlane didn't release any Power Ranger stuff for WonderCon. Nothing was shown at
yeah.
WonderCon for Power Rangers. And remember, he's had the license for like 6 months now. So
He had the license for that and Transformers. And
you figure he would have shown something at WonderCon because WonderCon is by the same people of San Diego.
I wonder if
Unless he's saving it for San Diego, but I doubt it because he released a lot of content for
I,
WonderCon. Like you
I was
saw
gonna
the
say
stuff, right? He released the Batman Forever line.
mhm,
He's got a lot of stuff coming out. So,
he's got a
a
lot
lot
of
of Batman.
yeah. But again, he might be saving it for the big San Diego one because everybody knows that one for sure. Everybody goes and visits that one. But again,
Yeah.
the Power Ranger line, you can mention it anywhere you want, and it'd be boom. It's in the face, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's clicks and
And
stuff like that.
but and every YouTuber would have been talking about it. Everybody would have been talking about it. But it kind of sucks that he hasn't, because I'm still curious. Is it going to be a reaction type figure, the little tiny ones with the comic books? Is it going to be a big 7-inch one? What's he going to release with it? Is it just going to be the main 6 characters, the main 7 characters? Is it going to have Scorpina? Is it going to have all the characters that Super 7 didn't release yet? What is the plan for this? This is what I'm curious. Is like, I want to see where he's going with it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for 7-inch characters so I can complete maybe what I'm missing, because because I don't see Super 7 really moving on too fast with any of this. Kind of like, if you look at them, they kind of slow down on a lot of the Troy lines.
Yeah.
But with McFarlane, I'm excited to see. Even if they are the small ones, the comic book ones, I'm in for that, because I want to see what kind of comics they're going to do with it.
Unless they give him the license to like create his own, as
Oh,
long as it's toy locked. You know what I mean? Like you can only
yeah.
make the toys, but you're not making movies, you're not making comics, you're not making anything. But you can make your own version of Power Rangers. You can make your own take on the Mighty Morphin. If they
Oh,
give him that,
yeah.
that would be something, because Super 7 is tied to the Mighty Morphin. Period.
What'd be cool?
Hasbro can do whatever they want, but
Yeah.
if it depends what his contract is and where
You
it's
know what?
locked down.
You know what'd be cool? And this is just me being my old selfish kid. A 7-inch flip head. A 7-inch flip head.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. Look, I've said it before. I think they should re-release these. These
Yeah.
update the articulation a little bit, but the original ones, they're gonna sell like hotcakes. You put some civilian-looking heads on there, and then you have a second release. Oh, there's Jason unmasked. Here's Jason with his helmet, and oh, here's Jason with the Green Ranger shield. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what? Let's make another one. Let's make Jason battle damage. You just got 4 toys out of this one mold, bro. How can you be leaving money on the table? And everybody likes this sculpt, this book, and you basically use the same body for men and women anyway. So this
Yeah,
would
back then,
move.
yes.
This would move, especially today with everybody buying retro toys and stuff.
Hmm.
But
Damn. Yeah. Keep the symbol on there too, yeah. But I'm serious. You could take that one and make it into the flip head, and you'll have a series of toys that no one's ever done. Realistic head on one side, you hit the button, it morphs. And you can have, you don't have to keep popping on and off the heads. You can just be like, oh, I wanted this way. I wanted this way.
they actually did that for the original line, because originally it was the flip head, and then they remodeled the chest and the crotch piece so it wouldn't be flip head. Remember they released them again, but just without the flip head feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you basically already tooled the arms and the legs and the head, so you're still saving money. It's not like it's a bad idea.
Definitely. Yeah.
I hope McFarlane does show, and bro, this is something I loved about the Legacy line, but this is me as a franchise fan. I was gonna buy all the Power Ranger figures to the build a figure. I would build a figure for any figure that they put. So if McFarlane does build a figure with Power Rangers, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I'd get it anyway. They know I'd get it. They know I'd get it. McFarlane, you should hire Mascot Fighters, by the way. But hell, that'd be awesome to see some Mascot Fighters McFarlane figures. Well, yeah, but McFarlane, I'm listening, like Fraser used to say. I'm listening, man. But yeah, I would honestly enjoy a build a figure line with Power Rangers and McFarlane. So.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm really curious on what they're doing with Power Rangers Hasbro. I just don't. I'm really hoping they do something, and I hope if they do release another role playing thing, first of all, they need to release the last 2 of the battle weapons. The power axe and the power bow. They need to release those first, but after they release that, I would love to see Saba. Because that's something I never had as a kid, and I always wanted it. I had a friend that had it, but I never had it. I think it'd be cool if they could release Saba as a roleplay like they did in the Legacy edition,
It'd be cool if they McFarlane could probably do this. he'd make Saba a full character.
Yeah.
Forget Saba as a sword. Make fully okay. Here's Saba's head. Here's his arms. Here's his legs, and then he's cursed into becoming a sword because he lost the bet or whatever you want to call your MacGuffin of why he becomes a sword. And there you
Mhm.
go. Oh, McFarlane's got Saba Ranger.
Yeah.
The last two news things because we are at an hour 16 are quick ones. The first one is there's a review out now of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy by Connor the Waffle. That's the channel on YouTube.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's very little Power Rangers, so I want to highlight when somebody does some good stuff. I've seen some of his other work, and it's very good. Connor the Waffle. That's the channel for Power Rangers Lost. You'll like the channel. It's a fun channel. And
Okay.
the last thing is the NECA Ninja Turtles, the Punk Turtles,
Mhm.
the 4-pack. That's already hitting stores, so that's out now. That's
Okay.
basically the news.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I'm gonna do self promotion myself. So on my DTV83, since we were talking about Power Rangers, 2 days ago I actually did a full gameplay through Super Sentai Car Ranger. If anybody knows what Car Ranger isn't, it's Turbo, Power Rangers Turbo in a video game form. We never got it over here. It was a Super Nintendo game, and oh, it is a fun little cheesy game. Basically, you're just
Yeah,
the Power Ranger, and you get to choose which color you want to be. You just left to right. That's all you do. Go left to right, defeating the I don't know what to call, but basically the putty form for Turbo, and then at the end of each level, you fight one of the bad guys, and you collect pieces of the Megazord, or what they call the RV Megazord in the Japanese version. But fun little game. Took me like 45 minutes to play, start to finish. But if you want to see that's on DTB83, um, the link's in the main page here. My page and Mascara's page is on the main page. So yeah. Other than that, thanks for watching. Please like,
yeah.
subscribe, share the
This is all
videos.
for entertainment, by the
Yeah, this
way,
is all for
because
entertainment.
we're not specifically talking. Oh, this is a good person. There's a bad person. We don't know any of these people. But it's just for entertainment, for fun.
Mhm.
No, because I don't want to get. You always want. This is just in case. Just in case. This is just
Yeah.
for fun. We don't work for any of these companies. We're just having fun and talking as fans. You know?
But
And
if you want,
till next
yeah,
time, guys.
anytime.
Yeah.
Peace.